We didn't address subject matter jurisdiction. It still has yet to be proven.
I would like to provide the defendant.
The defendant?
Don't roll your eyes at me. Don't sigh at me.
October 21st, one of the worst days in the Brooks trial.
I'm tired of being in the courtroom that has no integrity whatsoever. How can you even call yourself a judge? You're always trying to pull some fast maneuvers.
Mr. Brooks?
And, Miss Judge, Your Honor,
If this trial was a game,
it's not no game. That's what you don't
It
seem
is
to
a game
understand.
you.
then this would be the moment the enemy reveals his final form.
What type of statement is that? Your life is not on the line. Mine is. And you think that I think this is funny?
No, but this is.
They see me rolling.
While watching this trial, I noticed a man sitting behind Brooks, and I wanted to know who he was and why he was there. To find out, I listened to 2 interviews with him. He didn't say much, but most of his issues were around submitting evidence and Erika Patterson for some reason.
Then when you see that when he trying to bring specific evidence against her for credibility, they try everything in their power to not bring certain evidence to discredit Erika Patterson.
The only specific things that he ever mentioned was stuff around Erika Patterson.
If I would have to blame somebody else also with this case, I also blame Erika Patterson. She's not no victim in this case at all.
He really doesn't like her, actually.
One thing I know about black women, they purposely choose certain type of guys. They don't like the guys that gentle and soft and respectful. These type of guys, domestic violence thugs, is the men who they pick.
Yeah, he does say a lot of things like that. So let's look at that part of the trial and see if there was anything wrong with the way that they submitted evidence.
Was this made a exhibit? Because I don't have it. When was this video made an exhibit? That is a question.
So at this point, Brooks is very upset that they're using his own music video against him in court.
Right now, that was my first time seeing that as an exhibit.
He doesn't know how to argue against it, so the judge allows it.
He doesn't like it because the evidence is stacking up, and whenever it does...
Appa does a great job, she's fantastic, but she doesn't know that her next sentence is going to come back and haunt her.
There is nothing in law that prevents me from pulling something out of my briefcase right now and making it an exhibit if it's relevant. No authority whatsoever that says I can't make an exhibit essentially on the fly if it's called for.
He took that and just thought that, hey, that's a green light to bring in anything I want as evidence.
I'm not an idiot. She must think I'm an idiot.
What do you call a man that acts as their own lawyer and is surprised that they have to do things legally?
So I'm supposed to just come off that with off the top of my head?
Yes.
That's ridiculous.
You're representing yourself. It's not ridiculous.
Let me try to find some legal thing to combat. How am I supposed to do
you
that?
opened the box.
What? I'm supposed to find ways to legally defend myself in a case where I'm legally defending myself? And so now we go to the next day, October 21st. Now we get to see Darrell Brooks' defense. And I'm sure that day starts off perfectly, right?
We didn't address subject matter jurisdiction. It still has yet to be proven for the record. And
Be prepared to call
so
one
that's
of the three.
a rush to judgment.
You always trying to pull some fast maneuvers.
Mr. Brooks?
And, Miss Judge, Your Honor,
I was debating whether I should even go over this morning or just skip it. The judge just wanted him to call his next witness. But he said, no, we haven't addressed enough things. I have something very important. I can't call my next witness.
You're rushing me to judgment.
There's no rush to judgment. Call your next witness.
We had a
please.
legal matter.
Call your next witness.
You said what?
Call your witness.
I'm not seeking.
Please call your
Your
next
Honor, we do
witness.
this.
Call your next witness.
How can I?
Call your next witness, please.
Your Honor, you're rushing me to judgment.
There's no rush to judgment, sir.
Are you not a public servant, Your Honor?
Mr.
Do
Brooks?
I not have your oath of office?
Under
Three of them.
9611.
Your Honor, you're
call your
rushing me to
next
judgment.
witness.
And I object
I'm
to
aware
that.
of. Please call your next witness.
You took these oath of offices.
And during all this, we get another poorly phrased sentence.
that I informed you that I had some legal issues that needed to be addressed before you just run right past that, Your Honor. You're a public
Mr.
servant.
Brooks?
Like this guy just picks the worst things to say, even smacked his hands together and everything. I mean, imagine if you were somebody that was hit by Brooks and you had to sit behind him and listen to that.
Subject matter
raised.
jurisdiction is not
As I
something
don't,
the
it
state
has
must
to
prove.
be proven. It has to be. Show me
Confusing
lawful law.
civil. Don't roll your eyes at me. Don't sigh at me. You have delayed these.
Now let's go to the afternoon. I'm sure the afternoon goes much better, right?
Can we address subject matter jurisdiction and still has to be proven for the record?
The whole day was a nightmare.
The defense may call its next witness, please.
Be it 1 second. I'm trying to make sure I got the paperwork since I'm being rushed to judgment.
I'm not rushing you to judgment, man. Just, take your time, but sometime today, please. Somebody stole Brooks's paperwork. I don't know who. And he's not pointing the fingers at anyone, but he's saying that somebody took his paper.
Erika Patterson. Thank you. Go ahead, your witness.
I'm sorry about that. 1 second. I'm trying to find this paperwork.
I'm not kidding when I say this. He spent the whole morning looking for his paper. He goes on and on and on. Just look at the faces on everyone.
I'm just gonna start the questioning. I'm not seeming to find paperwork that I just had on the table for some reason, odd reason.
So eventually he gives up on trying to find that paper, for now, and starts his questioning. But he's not so good at lawyering. I think this is actually his first time lawyering, but his questioning was so slow that I'm pretty sure Erika fell asleep. During the questioning, he did impress me a little bit though, I'm not gonna lie. I did underestimate him, but he was able to remember a date.
I'm going to direct your attention to the evening of November 21st, 2021. The evening of November 21st, 2021, on November 21st of 2021, and an alleged incident on November 20th of 2021. Were you injured from the alleged incident on November 20th, 2021? So what time did you meet up with the alleged defendant on November 20th, 2021? An alleged incident on November 20th of 2021.
If he can prove that she doesn't see her kids, then maybe the jury would believe that he doesn't beat her.
The child that you have in common with the alleged defendant, do you keep regular contact with that child?
Off and on.
And look at how uncomfortable she is too.
It's not relevant, sir.
You could really see that he's making her uncomfortable.
She answered it.
Like, you don't need to be an expert to tell that.
Not relevant.
And that's kind of why I think he's enjoying it, because of his demeanor right now, his attitude towards her.
Do any of your children live with you? Grounds for the sustain?
Not relevant.
This is where things get wacky. Erika testified that she has not been in contact with Brooks ever since the attack.
That would mean no contact at all via phone or anything like that.
No.
Brooks tries to disprove this by whipping out 2 photographs as evidence.
I don't know if you can see them from here, but do you recognize these pictures?
You need to show those to the state. The bailiff will take them. That's not proper procedure, sir.
I'm going to object to those being shown to the witness. They have no relevance whatsoever to this trial.
Yes, they do. And I'll get into how they have relevance.
The looks on their faces was insane. You can't do that. You can't just whip out evidence. That has to be vetted. That has to be approved by the judge.
How's it not relevant? Photos just don't pop up out of the blue.
And
It's facts. I got the pictures right here. Facts.
That's where Alpa's line comes back to bite her in the ass.
That's kind of biased because the state did the same thing yesterday with creating an exhibit right on the fly that didn't even exist that I didn't have.
The judge tries to help him submit the evidence, but he just doesn't know how to do that.
It's not fair.
When did you receive this document that you claim was sent by this witness?
It's not claim. It's for a fact.
Sir, it hasn't been established yet. I need to make a record.
So do y'all want
I
the
want
letter?
to see
Y'all
the
want the
letter.
envelope? What?
I want to see the letter.
Okay, so I gotta.
And I wanna know when you received it.
I gotta bring that in. Every time, this is what I don't get. Every time I'm presenting something that needs to be made for the record and placed in the evidence, it's a problem. But the state can do it, no problem.
It's not, sir. There are proper procedures, and I
Okay,
want
well,
you to
that
make
was the
a
proper
record.
procedure.
If I don't,
Wait, that was the proper procedure? No, bro. Just no.
Man, stop.
when you
Stop
are
it.
you aren't
Stop
even
it.
What's the business? What's the business? What's the business? What's the business? What's the
Stop.
business? What's the business?
Come on. Stop.
business? What's the
Stop it! You say one more line and I'm about to smoke myself!
Turns out, the doofus didn't even bring the letter. He just brought the photos thinking that was good enough. So when our friend said that he was being mistreated because they didn't allow his evidence in, I have to call BS.
He know where that letter was coming from. She was sending him that pictures. She was sending him letters.
But now we need to divert to a more important subject.
The
And
state-
what happened to that paper? Because it was on the table. Then when I
Mr.
come
Brooks,
back in,
I
it's
need to
nowhere
make
be
a
found.
record of a variety of
So
things.
who took my paper?
And you keep interrupting me.
Your Honor, I object to that. What does the letter read?
You have the letter. You showed it to me, sir.
And I've been trying to find it ever since I came back in here, and now all of a sudden I can't.
And now
find
you're
it.
impugning, though, like somehow you're impugning the integrity of this court,
No,
of
I'm
the
not.
bailiffs of this state. You're accusing, frankly, everyone
Did I
of
point
moving
the
your
finger?
papers.
Did I point the finger at anyone? Did I say anyone did anything?
Not directly, but indirectly you did,
So
sir.
how can you make the assumption that I'm saying?
Can
that
I
I'm
please
pointing to
make the
someone?
record without
Yes,
you interrupting
yes, you may.
me?
Yes, you may. Your Honor, did I say anyone touched my table? I didn't
You
say you.
implied it, sir.
But did I say that?
Well, earlier, this is what you actually said.
I'm just gonna start the questioning. I'm not seeming to find paperwork that I just had on the table for some reason, odd reason. Just had it on the table.
I'm trying to figure out how something got pulled out of thin air. Interesting.
And then just now, you said this.
The
And what happened to that paper? Because it was on the table. Then when I
Mr.
come
Brooks,
back in,
I
it's
need to
nowhere
make
be
a
found.
record of a variety of
So
things.
who took my paper?
Yeah, exactly, bro.
I
You
never
stated
said.
it implicitly.
I never asked the bailiffs, hey, did any one of you touch my table? I never said that to them. I just said I can't find my paper, which is the truth.
And the
I'm
way
looking
that
down.
you said it, like,
I didn't point anyone out though.
and like,
I
well,
don't
that's
think that
kind
that's
of
fair.
interesting.
I
I
don't
don't
think that
have a
that's fair to
document that was
assume.
just on my table. That is what you said.
That's
Words
what
to
I
that
said, but I
effect.
did not point the finger at anyone.
He's insane. He's just straight up insane.
So,
I can
you
see
have
if
the
I
letter.
came in, Your Honor, with
You've
all
been
respect,
given.
I can see if I came in and said, hey, one of you moved something off my table, or if I would have directed that towards the state, or if I would have directed that towards the clerks or something like that, then it would be validity to what you're saying.
The letter?
No, I didn't bring the letter, I brought the pictures. They didn't come out of thin air.
Well, I don't know. Your paper fell out of thin air, so maybe the pictures did too.
What's the basis why you believe they're from Miss Patterson? Is there some information in them that only she would know? Did she sign the letters? Is it penmanship that you recognize?
You're trying to submit a document with no proof that it is what you say it is. Of course, you can't even answer the question.
Why do you believe they're from her? I am serious. I need you to
Because
answer.
they're from her.
Great arguments, man. Just totally bulletproof. Now, if you want to see an example of how it's really done, watch this.
The plaintiff wrote me a letter on August 12th in which she told me I would never see my son again. I have the letter here. It's marked. I know this is from her because it's in her handwriting and her signature. I recognize them both. We've been married for 10 years and I know her writing well.
So it has to be put in a legal
The
term
bottom
or
line is I
something?
need the letter. So if you're going to question her on that, the state absolutely has a right to see the letter.
Well, hey, maybe the state doesn't have any objections. Maybe they're totally fine with this. Let's see.
Because we have reason to believe that he did not get them from Erika Patterson. He is on a jail phone call talking to his mother, Dawn Woods, about Dawn Woods sending these photographs to him. Now,
that's a lie. I object to
Let
that.
the state...
He had to know that they would bring that up. He even made a comment earlier that day saying that he knows that they listen to his phone calls.
The prosecution listens to all the phone calls. They should be able to have heard that phone call as well. So they should be on notice of what was said.
And the jail doesn't just record your phone calls, but they also examine any letters that you get.
and second of all, if we go down that road, we would be forced to counter that claim. He impregnated Erika Patterson when she was a minor, and for doing so, he was convicted of statutory sexual seduction and is a sex offender on the registry as a result. So if there's any causation that would lead to Erika Patterson being a bad mom, Mr. Brooks has a direct role in that causation.
And so this is when Brooks has his big freak out saying, she said she was 18.
No, since he want to make a record and not be accurate, so let's be accurate all on the record since you think you know so much.
By the way, I spoke to Erika Patterson on my YouTube channel. She said that she loved my videos, which means a lot to me. You guys should definitely check her out. She is a very nice woman.
Did you know she said she was 18 when I met her? Did you know that?
So then after the break, everybody came back, and then the state continued.
I would like to provide the defendant and the court with a copy.
So that had to be said. So it's the defendant.
That's not how it was said.
That was how it said. You want to run the record back?
So I ran the record back, and I might be crazy, I do think he has a small point. That was kind of an aggressive defendant.
I would like to provide the defendant and...
I don't blame her. I'm just kind of on the fence with this one.
So can
Your
you
Honor,
tell,
I
can you
believe he
explain-
has 7 prior criminal convictions via OWI second from 1997, criminal trespass to dwelling from 2006.
All right, I need to take a break. This man right now is having a stare down with me. It's very disrespectful. He pounded his fist. Frankly, it makes me scared.
My name is Joey Bag of Doughnuts, and I'm a language expert. I graduated from the University of Harvard with a body language communications degree, and I think I'm pretty qualified to assess his emotion right here.
Now, from his nose, I could tell that growing up, he had it hard, and that his mama probably busted her ass, working like 2 or 3 jobs.
See, right here, I would say, in my personal expert opinion, that he's looking pretty mad.
But judging from the line on his sideburn, it also looks like he's hungry, so it is possible that he's just hangry.
So after this, I kicked the body language guy out, and then I started to look at more footage. Just when I thought I was done, I was hit with a wrench. You know, I went through all this footage trying to understand what he was talking about. The reason why I looked into these 2 days was because it was the only reason given for why this man showed up and supported Brooks. But it turns out, he was actually there those 2 days.
I'm not allowing you to ask her any additional questions, given your full and fair opportunity that you had previously, any probative and relevant information that she would testify.
You know, it just doesn't make any sense. He used these dates to explain why he was there, but it turns out he was already there to begin with. Yeah, he started to show up on October 20th, and I was pretty pissed when I found this out. So then, why was he there? Well, that's what we're gonna go through on the next video. If you made it this far, I just want to say thank you very much. I really hope you enjoyed this. I have a couple more. I think 3 more videos actually planned on this subject. So if you want to see those, subscribe. I'm Lord AC. Guys, take care. Like, subscribe. Peace.